What's up, Spellslingers? Blakeizen here, and today we're going to take a look at something way more aggressive than the stuff that I have been playing in recent time. And we're going to answer the question of, do you want to play Goblins, and do you want to play Cavalcade of Calamity? So what we did is I was talking to my boy Teflon Dom over on Twitch here, and he was telling me he was running kind of a mono-red aggro list that was involving Cavalcade of Calamity. So I'm sitting here thinking, you're telling me there's a chance. So at the time he was in low diamond, and during the playtesting of our deck and him playing his original list, I have tuned this thing down to what we have here today, and I'll show you his list before we get there. But essentially what I tried to do was make a way more consistent game plan than what his version was going for, so we can get through those games a good bit faster. And let me tell you, this thing has been a blast to play on the ladder. You will absolutely steal games when you have a Cavalcade of Calamity and you don't draw all 21 of your mountains. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing you can see here is we are running 8 1/1 Hasty Boys. Now everybody knows what Fanatical Firebrand does. Super solid card, doubles down as removal. Get a cool free style for him by punching in a style code thingy. But anyways, this guy, we're probably not going to have him but for a couple more months, so make use of him while we do. But in his shadow lies 10th Street Dodger, old Roger Dodger over here. We're just going to call him Roger from now on. So Roger has haste, is a 1/1 for 1 red, but his tap a red mana ability says Roger can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with Defender. And tell me the last time you saw somebody playing Defender. I have Defender's deck. I like to play it. I haven't seen it on ladder in a really long time. This essentially just makes this dude unblockable, and this is a very powerful ability when you have Cavalcade of Calamity down and they're throwing, Nullhide Feroxes in your face. So, really big deal. This guy turns into a finisher and a clock all on his own, and other than that, he's just a 1/1 haste guy, so just doubles down on our Goblins game plan. We're running a bunch of removal just like a typical mono red deck should. We're running 4 Shock, 4 Lightning Strike, 3 Skewer the Critics, and let's see here. Goblin Instigators is our next Goblin we get to. Other than the Cavalcade of Calamity, Goblin Instigators was something I had moved away from a little while, but I decided to bring back in because we ran into a lot of games where we really didn't have enough stuff to do on turn 2, no matter how many 1-drops we were playing. So I was really a big fan of this guy. Just for 1 card, we get 2 1/1s on the board, which is pretty relevant for our Cavalcade. Fun synergies with Goblin Warchief in that if you have Goblin Warchief on board, this only costs 1 red mana, but you get 2 hasty 1/1 Goblins out of it. So pretty interesting. We're running the Almighty Legion War Boss. This card is fantastic in Baby Teferi metagame. The 1/1 token he creates will usually kill the Teferi because they're almost always going to use it to draw a card, and if not, you can play around that and go for a different card. If you punch with just a 1/1 and a Goblin Warchief, well, they can't bounce anymore. They don't get to do that card draw. Goblin Warchief really good at taking over games and just absolutely demanding, a board clear all on his own. This guy's going to be around for a while, and I do think he deserves a little bit of recognition in the Goblin deck. We may need to promote him to a knight instead of a soldier. Who knows? Krinko, 10th Street Kingpin. Legendary creature Goblin. Whenever Krinko 10th Street Kingpin attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, then create a number of +1/1 red Goblin creature tokens equal to Krinko's power. You swing with this thing 2 times with Cavalcade on the board, and you have probably won the game. He makes 2 tokens, and then he makes 3 tokens, and then he makes 4 tokens, and then he makes 5 tokens. And they're all 1/1 Goblins, but really, really relevant ability. Krinko gets a little bigger, and he still benefits from attacking with Cavalcade of Calamity on his first attack, because he attacks as a 1/1 when he starts. So, pretty cool thing you can do. And you can also mentor Krinko and get all 3 triggers in the right order, end up with a 3/4 Krinko, and make 3 tokens on the first attack. One thing I want to note is you could probably cut one of these Warchiefs, but I just really like playing him and the synergy he gives to the other 3-drops, because if you play this guy on turn 3, then you are open to playing 2 of your other 3-drops on turn 4. So if you played 2 Legion War Bosses back to back on turn 4, they would be 2 costed each. Then you're essentially swinging for 8 damage just out of your Legion War Bosses. So pretty powerful effect right there. We're running 1 light up the stage for a just in case, needs some more card advantage, gets us there a little bit more. Really solid all around card. Those cards that you exile, they can't interact with from your hand, so pretty neat. And I have been playing this card for like a month straight in just varying decks. And this is probably one of the best cards in Standard. I think she's a little sleeper. Like I think she's a lot better than people are giving her credit for. Because if you're having to punch her or just trade with her, you are at a severe disadvantage. And if she gets to do her -7, it is just like dropping a bomb on your opponent. So expect to see this card a whole lot in the near future. And kind of excited about playing her some more because we're getting more Chandras in the M20 set, which I have already been brewing for. We've got a pretty sick Elementals list ready to go for that one. Can't wait to play test it. So 21 Mountains, a bunch of Goblins, some Burn, and a Fiery Girl. A bunch of hasty boys. Alright, so I really hope you guys like this list. It was pretty fun to play. And we've definitely been climbing the ladder. In the time that we had tested the deck and came to this more concise list, Dom made it from Diamond 4 to Mythic. So congratulations to him. That was pretty solid. But if you guys like the deck list, just show me some love and leave a sub down there. Really appreciate it. We're growing a little bit and having a whole lot of fun here. So let's take a look at this cluster that Dom gave me to work with. But this is essentially the deck he got to Mythic with. So not sure if I have a right to change it, but we just kind of narrowed down the game plan, focused it in more on the Cavalcade of Calamity, and went from there. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I've got some gameplays showing up, lined up for you, and they're all about mid-platinum, so definitely getting there. We're going to be using this thing to climb pretty well. It's super fun to play. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy, and look forward to seeing you next week. Alrighty. It's actually kind of funny. I mean, I don't think we can mulligan. Our mulligans are really risky, but this is a terrible hand. Only running 20 mountains with no real way to draw them outside of Chandra. 3 Chandra and 1 light up the stage. Feels pretty bad. So we're just going to hope we get nutty top decks. I'd rather do that than just lose the game to having 1 mountain. The Ashino Pyromancer. Okay. %, forecast for War Chief to get shocked. 0% forecast for War Chief to get shocked. Okay. We may as well just make him burn Krenko. If we're considering the other play anyways. And just makes him tempo a little slower again. Okay. He sacks the dude. Yeah, I mean there's no way you don't sacrifice that. That was a pretty good turn for him though. And we have successfully flooded. But we do have our 1 of light up the stage, so that's pretty cool. All of our little one-drop dudes are pretty decent here. Getting in for $1 million. Bang bang. Let's do it again. Just making him spend his burn spells at this point. Because we're not in any danger of getting like... yeah, I'll take 4. Opponent is also flooding. It's probably our only solace in this game. Again. I mean, may as well. That takes 2 cards for him to get through. We can't block. Alright, we found it. That leaves tokens back. Calamity. Get in for 3, 4. And we got 1 blocker. Chain Whirler is essentially GG. I mean, there's no telling what he has here. Just blow up Krinko probably. But it's probably more than 1 burn spell, so. Let's go ahead and remove his guy. The man just needs 1 damage. Bang, 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 bang. We only needed 2 damage. I mean, technically we needed 1, but... Mono red goblins! Opponent goes first. I think we need to trim out some 3-drops. But we are finding 3 lands. Consistent. So we can drop both dudes. We sit on a lightning strike or something. That tells us he probably doesn't have Deafening Clarion. Okay. What is this, Feather? I think that's way better. Yeah. Now he shocks. No. Doesn't have. It's probably correct for him to block the little unblockable guy. Indestructible, Reckless Rage. I don't think that's worth a sprint. Okay. I guess he didn't want his dude. So, fun play. Oh, no, that doesn't work. We're just going to. I think we're going to Chandra. I feel like we should develop more board though, because he's like fumbling a little bit. And Krenko's like really hard to handle. And I like Krenko. Krenko is a very solid card. We really want to see a mountain. Okay, that's not a mountain. We're not going to attack just yet. Now he pretty much gets to play however he wants. Okay. He may nuke Chandra here. Okay. Okay. Deal. Alright. Got ourselves a race. So War Chief counts for 2 damage. Calamity counts for 4 damage. Bang, 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 bang. I mean, you have to block Krenko, so. Josina, can you get 20 damage? Go for it. Teach me. Okay. Another Defiant Strike. Or Gird for Battle is probably better for him. Okay, so get rid of Krenko and still die? You did. Imagine if you played like Fiery Cannonade right here. Let's just go ahead and tell them we're not playing. We're not playing regular mono red aggro. We're playing next level mono red aggro. Back to the old school, to the goblins. Yeah, we're just gonna blow that up. Don't want to deal with that. Too many blockers for our 1/1s. It's probably gonna Teferi next turn, anyways. Bounce our little hasty boy. Oh, how did I ever know? Oh wow, that's actually super surprising. We hit Teferi for 3 and he can't bounce anything. And we set up Krinko next turn.
Time for plan B.
Me might have like Kaya's Wrath, Oath of Kaya. Either one of those things is obnoxious here. Narset's kind of whatever. We don't need to draw cards.
Let's try this.
Hedge a little bit. Make sure he can't get any more card advantage. Amass our board. Really extend into Kaya's Wrath, considering we're flooding really hard. But Teferi. Oh, okay. You can have one of my mountains, brother. Wow. Do we want to give up the War Chief? I don't think we need it. We leave the Firebrand back just in case he wants to. Do anything special. Absolutely flooding. Bounce our dude. We'll sack this to kill Teferi.
You'll thank me later.
And we're gonna top deck Calamity. Or Goblin War Chief so we can get Krinko back in there.
It's only a matter of time.
I don't know if we care about the haste on him or not, really. Okay. We would have killed him right here if we found Calamity. I'm not sure what he's trying to do, but we don't need to extend this Krinko. Okay. War Chief represents lethal. We may as well make him have to have something instead of just block one thing. Well, GG, Esper Hero. You got Goblined. Alright, let's get some Goblin Calamity out of here. I think we keep this just because we get started on one and can skewer the critics, but generally I'd rather see 2 cost anything. Okay. 10 Street Dodger is a absolute workhorse in this deck. Tap a red basically says unblockable. And mountain off the top. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a good time if we see Shalai, okay. How do we want to do this? One, two, three, four. I mean, I think we just need to kill the Shalai. Put it on that guy because he's nigh unblockable. And we're going to blow that thing up. We do not want to deal with more of those. We do run a decent amount of burn, so. Probably takes our 10 Street Dodger. Looks like he did not find his land. Oh, he did. So he had it. Okay. 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 We are awful close to lethal. Okay. Teferi. Well, Krenko gives this guy haste. But he also gives this guy haste. Block, block. I'm going to go for this because it leaves the most board. Oh, it's a real Mystic Easy, okay. He would have frilled Mystic. I mean, he was literally holding that out for whatever we tried to do before we even did it. Alright, so we can get in for 1. Leave 2 guys back. Let's do it. We'll probably play Tibalt next turn, or if we just find Shock or whatever.
Let's slow this down.
Currently, he does not have a So he still only has 3 open. Okay. Now we know all of his cards.
My friend is here to help you.
He can kill Tibalt, but we kind of set up lethal this way. Depends on what happens to this token. And alright, so we should just win. Goblin Calamity. Tibalt giving us that extra bit of reach.
I'll just go torture someone else.
Kaboom. Not bad.